And the Secretary of State of the United States and the foreign ministers of Australia, India and Japan met in Washington, D.C. for the 10th Quad Foreign Ministers meeting, where they launched key initiatives to advance a free and open Indo-Pacific.
They also condemned the terror attack in India's Jammu and Kashmir in April, reaffirming their commitment to regional stability.
Now, the Quad foreign ministers in a joint statement condemned the April 22nd terrorist attack in Jammu and Kashmir's Pahalgam that killed 26 people, calling for the perpetrators and financiers to be brought to justice promptly.
Now, they urged all UN member states to cooperate actively with relevant authorities in accordance with international law and relevant UN Security Council resolutions.
India's Minister for External Affairs, Dr. S. Jaishankar, defended Operation Sindoor, a military operation launched in response to the Pahalgam attack. The operation targeted terrorist infrastructure in Pakistan and Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, with India's armed forces conducting precision strikes on 9 terrorist sites.
A word about terrorism in the light of our recent experience. The world must display zero tolerance. Victims and perpetrators must never be equated. And India has every right to defend its people against terrorism, and we will exercise that right. We expect our Quad partners to understand and appreciate that.
Now, Jaishankar's statement comes as India deferred with Trump's claims that his intervention and threats to cut off trade talks averted a major conflict between India and Pakistan following the Pahalgam attack.
Meanwhile, at the joint meeting with Japanese Foreign Minister Takeshi Iwaya, Australian Foreign Minister Penny Wong, Indian External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar, US Secretary of State Marco Rubio stated that the Quad grouping must be a vehicle for action, stressing that commerce and trade will be critical to ensuring the group's relevance in the future.
Now, his statement comes as the Trump administration seeks to expand its influence in the Indo-Pacific to compete with the rising China amid tensions with Quad members over trade and defense issues.
The next step in this great partnership is to actually begin to see concrete actions and steps being taken in conjunction with one another, in coordination with one another, in partnership with one another for the benefit of our respective countries and ultimately of many other countries in the world.
Among the key decisions taken by the grouping was the launch of the Quad Critical Minerals Initiative, aimed at collaborating on securing and diversifying supply chains. The ministers announced initiatives to strengthen maritime and transnational security, economic prosperity, critical and emerging technology, and support humanitarian assistance and emergency response efforts in the Indo-Pacific.
Now, for more on this, a correspondent, Susan Tehrani, has sent us this report from New York. Listen to this.
U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio hosted his Quad counterparts, reaffirming the Quad as a vehicle for action, not just dialogue. Rubio emphasized turning ideas into concrete outcomes, particularly on diversifying critical mineral supply chains and strengthening economic and security cooperation. India's External Affairs Minister Jaishankar highlighted shared commitments to a rule-based, free and open Indo-Pacific, noting recent Quad advances in areas like maritime logistics, education, and political cooperation. And while the United States-India ties faces some obstacles regarding tariffs and trade issues, both sides stressed that managing differences is key and that the partnership remains very productive. Earlier, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent revealed progress toward a U.S.-India tariff deal to ease levies on American exports to India. Overall, it appears both nations have signaled a willingness to move forward, keeping strategic goals at the forefront. Susan Tehrani reporting from New York for WION World is One.